On these problems, we are going to use formulas and solve for things that are either missing or just try to find either the perimeter of a rectangle, the volume of a rectangle, or the area. So they all use the same things, length, width, and height, but the only time you're going to be using height is when you're talking about a volume because it'd be in 3 dimensions. Right? Let's look at these first problems, and I'm only pulling 2, all right, from the problem sets you have for homework. So I'm going to look at number 2 first. It says find V when length equals 50, W equals 30, and H equals 15. So the formula for volume equals V equals length times width times height, okay? So in doing this, you just lay it out where you put the numbers under the letter. So for L is 50, you put 50. If your width is 30, you put 30. If my height is 15, then I'm just going to put 15. And I am just going to do it on my calculator. I suppose you do the same. So 50 times 30 times 15 will give me the volume of 22,500. I don't have a unit, so I'm just going to write down units cubed. If it was centimeters, it'd be 22,500 centimeters cubed. If it was meters, it'd be 22,500 meters cubed, right? That's pretty straightforward because they give you all 3 letters. Now we're going to look at this one. They give you the volume, and you're missing a letter. This is where it gets a little more challenging, right? So that's what this one does. So once again, I write the formula. Volume equals length times width times height. They say my volume is 512. I put 512 here. I know my length is being 8. My W is equal to 8. But I do not know my height. Okay? So in this way, I just multiply these 2 together. I get 512 is equal to 64H. These look like the problems we're working on in 2-8. Actually 2-4, 5, and 6, all the way up to 8, right? So we just divide this out. Okay? So I'm saying do your calculator, 512 divided by 64. I get the number 8 equals H. Now, H, I don't know what the units are, so you can sit there and write 8 units, which would be totally fine. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Let's look at the next crew, right? I grab this. And these have to do with area. These are much easier because you're losing one of the measurements. But the formula for area equals length. I might use a fancy L. Length times width, right? So the area for the first one equals 9. We don't know what the units are. Times 11. So the area for the first guy equals 99 units squared. That's a unit called unit squared, right? Next one's a little more complicated. So erase this. I'll show you why. They give you the area. In this case, it's 64 units squared, right? It's going to be equal to, they give us length, which is 8, times W, we don't know. So we'll just put W like this. So when we have this, you can rewrite it. 64 equals 8W. I divide by 8. Divide by 8. 8. And I would just put the thing on this 8 units, right? Let's do that. Units equals W, right? That's pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at the last crew, right? That's a little more of a complex, how do you say, formula, because this is the perimeter of a triangle. Okay? This formula is perimeter equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Okay? figure this guy out. Perimeter equals 2, and what's my L, times 24 plus 2 times 4. So my perimeter equals, I multiply these out, it's 48 plus 8. Perimeter equals 56 units. Notice how they're not squared, right? Because you'd have to have 24 times 24 to be squared, but it's not. It's just units, right? So if it was meters, it'd just be meters. Centimeters would just be centimeters, right? Let's do the next one. It's a little more complicated, but doable. Let's see what we got going on here. They're going to give me one of my answers. My perimeter is 24, let's say, units. That's going to be equal to 2 times L plus 2 times, and they give me 4, or W. I'm going to move these down and take out the unit stuff so I can see what's going on. 24 equals 2L plus 8. This looks like a lot of problems we're working on. Subtract 8 from both sides. Draw a line, draw a line. This guy goes away. So 24 minus 8 is 16 equals 2L. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Now I'm moving this over here. 8 equals L. Now let's circle this one. So as you can see, there's 3 different formulas. And we just plug them in. We just make sure we write things underneath the letters, and it should be fairly easy to do. Okay?